We're live now, and today I have a fantastic guest here, my coaching client, Lee Romano. And in today's conversation, we're going to discuss how to convert for sale by owners and expires at a high level. I know Lee has a lot of experience with this type of leads. So, welcome to my podcast, Lee.
Thanks, Roman. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. So why won't we start with you introducing yourself, telling us how long you've been in business and how long you've been calling FSBOs and expires?
Sure. Well, I've been in the business for 12 years and have been calling for sale by owners and expireds for that long, from the day one, from the very beginning. And it's really been the thing that's propelled my business and made turn an expired, a cold call business into a referral business. So over time, things change, and it all starts with the expireds and the for sale by owners. That's the basis for the business.
Excellent. Yes. So you definitely have some experience to share with us. So let's start from the very beginning. Where to get phone numbers for FSBOs and expires? What sources do you use? Do you recommend?
Great. Well, there are a number of different places people can go. RedX is one, Land Voice is another. Personally, I use Vulcan 7. I've used it from day one. I find it to be the most accurate and the most comprehensive as far as getting expired numbers, for sale by owner numbers. You can actually do neighborhood searches on there to do circle calls as well. So every morning I wake up and I come to the office and I just hit the expired. It's like an automatic thing.
It's like your habit.
It is a habit, and it takes discipline.
Right.
It was really interesting when I got into the business 12 years ago. I went into my first office and I set myself up. I had my scripts, many of which Tom and Matt Ferry wrote and had conversations. And I looked around my office and I'm making these phone calls and there wasn't anybody else there doing it. I thought that everybody did business this way just because that was the training that I had from my coach from the very beginning. So I just took that as an advantage. There weren't that many people that were calling expireds and for sale by owners in comparison to the number of agents that are out there. So it's a bit of an advantage if you have less competition, you're going over those people and learning the skills at a high level. You'll be able to convert some business.
That is so true. A lot of agents, they scared to make these phone calls because they have lack of experience, lack of discipline. But as you build this to your level, it's not hard anymore, right? I think something happened to sound. All right.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. We probably hit mute accidentally. Let's go.
As I say, it's simple, but it's not easy. It does take discipline, and the very first thing that you need to do is gain confidence. How do you gain the confidence in order to make these calls? Well, it's pretty simple in that all you need to do is learn the conversations, learn the scripts. Now, there are a number of different coaches that can help you to do that. I was the crazy guy on the treadmill in the gym going over the scripts just before I even got into the business. If what I say makes sense, 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 if what I say makes sense. And you're comfortable and confident, and you're comfortable and confident, and you're comfortable and confident. People in the gym would look at me like I had three eyes. It was crazy. But that was how I started to develop chanting, the practice of chanting the scripts so that I could memorize them, internalize them, and then ultimately make them conversational. So a script like that that sounds a little crazy and a little rushed turns into a conversation. Roman, if what I say makes sense and you're comfortable and confident I can sell this property for you, would you plan to list it with me when I see you on Thursday? So it becomes a natural conversation.
Oh, yeah.
And the more you do this, the more it just becomes conversational.
Right. And I hear it in your tonality, how you make the sell sound a little higher, a little louder. And you're pretty much using NLP, neurological programming, to command that person to sell this home, list with me. I don't know if you do it intentionally or unintentionally, but I can tell you do it.
Well, it is. I got to tell you, I hear another voice in here saying that they cannot hear you. I don't know if that's a technical issue.
Well, I can hear you well.
I can hear you well.
All right. Well,
all right. It's a little voice talking to me from somewhere. I don't know. Isabel.
Isabel. All right. Well, I don't see anything in comments.
I don't know. Let me see here. How about if I do that? I think I just got rid of it.
Oh, Lana just commented, all good. I can hear both voices. Perfect. All right, let's keep going. And let's review your process. Like you get to the office first thing in the morning, you open Land Voice or Espresso Agent or anything like that. And what's your process?
Well,
How do you make these calls?
we have a technical issue here. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you well. And
Okay.
Kendra and Lana confirmed that we're all good. We just keep going.
Okay. All right. So we're good now.
We're good. We're good. Let's keep going.
Okay. Because I can't see a thing, but we'll rock and roll here.
All
So
right.
the process is that I get here and I'm repeating in my head here. I can't hear anything.
All right. Well, this is being recorded anyway. It will be posted, and the system works fine. Maybe someone has technical issues on their end, or I don't know, with one of these platforms that's streaming live. I can hear you both. Angelica also just confirmed that she can hear both of us. So let's keep going. All right.
No.
What?
Let me see. I'm seeing one thing on the screen and I'm hearing it about 10 seconds later.
All right. So you can hear me well right now, correct?
But as I'm talking, you're talking.
Oh, so we have that delay.
Well, only when I talk. I need to take a video of this. Yes, very much a delay.
All right.
I'll
Well,
show you.
why wouldn't we do this? You can exit the studio and
Yes, let's
re-enter
exit.
the studio and continue. That's
So
just a
I'll exit and start again.
yes. We just continue. If you exit the studio and come back, I'll wait you here.
Okay, let's try that.
All right. All right. And while Lee logging back in, while we're solving these technical issues, put in the comments below what questions do you have for Lee. Maybe you have an objection that you cannot handle. Maybe you want to learn more about scripts and internalizing, like he just explained us on the treadmill. So put in comments below what questions do you have for Lee and what we should discuss on this podcast.
Okay, and I think we got it straight here. I can hear you when I'm not talking, so I think it's perfect now.
Okay, good. All right.
All right. So we'll back up. We'll back up. So the morning routine. I think we were starting on that. How we get started.
Right.
So one of the great things, or one of the things that I've noticed about agents is they don't really know what to do during the day. No concept of time blocking and making sure that you're doing the important things first. So anybody who's been to high school knows how to time block, right? So during first period of English class, you would never do science, would you? You'd do English, right? During second period science class, you wouldn't do physical education. You do what you're supposed to do during those times. And time blocking for lead generation is no different than that. I know that every day, the first thing I'm going to do is 8:30 every morning, I'm going to be in my office. I'm going to be opening up Vulcan 7. I'm going to be opening up my scripts. And I know that I'm going to be calling expired listings first thing every day. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it, so you don't have to wonder what's going on for the rest of the day. And you time block the time for expired listings, for sale by owners. From there, I'll make circle calls, just listed, just sold. From there, I'll move on to my sphere and to lead follow-up. And that's my morning routine every single day. And it's really interesting that if we don't, we all get into business, right? We have our real estate actions that we're taking care of, whether it's writing contracts or negotiating, doing any of those things. Well, when those things start to take over and we forget to time block in the morning, our business slows down, right? So it's a way to create a steady flow of business throughout an entire year and throughout an entire career. So it's really important that that time blocking really takes place every single day. And people say, well, what if this email comes in or that email comes in? There's an emergency. So there's no such thing as a real estate emergency.
No.
Right. So a house can be on fire and there's still nothing that I can do about it. Right. So it's that time blocking in the morning that is so important and that keeps everything consistent. And what I've noticed, and I think I mentioned earlier, is the calls that I made 12 years ago, that became a repeat and referral business. So making sure that you keep in touch with people after the sale, that's when the process really begins, the process of building the relationships. And what I found last year was that 80% of my business came from calls that I originally made for expires and for sale by owners that eventually became repeat and referral business throughout the year. So it's really important to keep in touch with those people on a regular basis so that you can build those relationships and have that repeat and referral business.
Oh, absolutely. Obviously, you build the relationship, you close this for sale by order or expired. This person's super happy. That this is opportunities for you to expand through referrals. That is so true. But let's come to the very beginning. You get to the office, you open Vulcan 7, you make these phone calls. Let's discuss, what do you say? What's your scripts? Can you role play with me being an agent and I would be expired or for sale by owner?
You want to be a for sale by owner or an expired listing?
Let's do expired.
Expired. Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, I'm looking for Roman.
Yeah, speaking. How may I help you?
Hey, Roman, this is Lee with Keller Williams Realty. I'm sure you figured out that your property came up on my computer as an expired listing. I was just calling to see if you've decided to keep it off the market or if you're going to be looking for the right agent to get it sold for you this time.
I didn't even know that it came expired. I got a couple calls from agents saying the same thing, but I thought I still under contract with my agent. He's doing a pretty good job. He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, you know what? Everybody has a friend in the business, that's for sure. And I hear these conversations all the time. People say that they didn't even know that the property was off the market. So may I ask, when you sell this property, where do you plan to move?
Well, I am actually planning to move to Miami.
To Miami. That's exciting. What brings you down to Miami?
Well, I've been thinking about getting to warmer weather, and I like big cities.
Yeah, well, that's the warm weather here it's not in Florida this week, I'll tell you what. It got pretty cold here. So it's just the weather. Do you have any family down there?
No, I don't have family. I lived in Miami 10 years ago. I liked it, so I wanted to come back.
Great, great. May I ask, why do you think that your property didn't sell?
Good question. My agent told me that that's the market. The market is pretty slow. Nothing is selling right now.
Right. Well, that's interesting because things are moving around here for sure. So may I ask you, what did the agent do that you liked? What did he do that you really liked?
Well, he took beautiful pictures. Pictures are good. He said he posted on Facebook, and I know social media is important. And he hosted an open house about 6 months ago.
Okay. So he did some things that you liked then, huh?
Yeah.
Great. And what do you think he could have done better?
Oh, well, I don't really know. I think it's just the market. That's what he told me.
Right. Yeah. Well, as I said, things are selling. And, are you familiar with the things that I do to get properties sold?
No, obviously, I don't know you, so I don't know.
Well, obviously. Well, Roman, I'd like to apply for the job of selling your property. Are you available tomorrow at 2:00 or would 4:00 be better for you?
Yeah, I'm going to be at work till 4, so maybe we'll make it 4:30.
4:30 sounds great. So, while I have you on the phone, I just have a couple of other questions to ask you so I can be totally prepared for our meeting. Would that be okay?
Yeah, sure.
Great. So, Roman, if what I say makes sense and you're comfortable and confident I can sell the property for you, do you plan to list it with me when I come over?
Well, it really depends on what you have to say and what you're going to do differently compared to the previous agent.
Obviously, you have to hear what I have to say for sure. May I ask just a couple of other questions for you?
Sure.
Sure. And how much do you own the property?
I own 300,000.
You owe 300,000. Great. And I do see on the MLS listing here that you have new granite countertops and you have nice new tile flooring. Is there anything else that's special about the property that I should know?
Yeah, the whole entire house was remodeled just a year ago, from top to bottom. New roof, new AC, new
Beautiful.
flooring. The bathroom also updated, so it's like a brand new house.
No, that sounds great, Roman. So listen, what's a good email address for you?
Well, it's romanmyagent@gmail.com.
Great. RomanMyAgent@gmail.com. Roman, I'm going to send you over a packet of information this afternoon. It's going to be a market analysis. It's going to be my pre-marketing, my pre-listing marketing plan and some other helpful hints about selling your property. If you have a chance, can you look that over before our meeting tomorrow?
Sure. Send
Great.
it over. I'll take a
Great.
look.
All right. Excellent. So our meeting should just take about 20 minutes. Would that be okay?
All right, that sounds good.
Great. You have any other questions before I come out?
What do you charge?
You know what? That's an important question that everybody asks. That'll be the first thing that we discuss when I get there. How's that sound?
All right, I can wait until tomorrow.
Excellent. Then we'll see you tomorrow at 4:30.
All right, sounds good.
There you go.
All right, perfect. That was really impressive role play. Hey, I want to ask to interact with us. If you learned something new from this role play with Lee Romano, put number 1 in comments, just so I see the engagement that you're actually watching us. All right. So yes, I really enjoyed it. It was very intentional. I can tell that how you internalized the script, and it was really hard to say no.
I wish more people would say yes, but it is, and that's an important thing too. It is a numbers game. And, when I talk with a lot of agents who want to get into calling expireds and for sale by owners, they'll try it for a week and they'll say, well, this isn't working, and they'll give up. When you're really doing this at a high level, 20 contacts, 20 conversations a day should not be abnormal, right? That's a lot. It's a stretch.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with expireds, for sale by owners, and the others, to make 20 contacts in 2 or 3 hours, it's a pretty good thing, pretty easy thing to do. Now, the thing is, when you make 20 contacts on a Monday and then 20 on a Tuesday, 20 on a Wednesday, and then you give up on Thursday because nothing happened in those first 3 days, you're throwing out the line and you're not reeling it in. It could take 150 to 200 conversations before you actually set an appointment. Now, as you get better at it, as you become more disciplined about it, as one would, you practice and role play and just get better at the craft, those numbers will come down, and you'll notice, and it'll vary depending on the time of year and the type of people that you're talking with. But it could be that I'll make 40 conversations and I'll have an appointment, or it could be 150 and I'll have an appointment. The important thing is not to stop. Got to keep on going, and don't give up after a week or 2 weeks or even a month or two. Another great advantage of prospecting expireds and for sale by owners is I can move to New Jersey, where I came from, so I wouldn't go back there. I love New Jersey, but I wouldn't go back there. I can move to New Jersey, and I can have a paycheck in 45 days. Because I know there are going to be expired listings there. I know there are going to be for sale by owners there. And it's a pool of sellers who want to sell their properties. And if you have these skills and you practice these skills, you'll be able to move anywhere and get a paycheck in 45 days.
Yeah, that makes sense. This is the cheapest seller leads you can get. You get Vulcan 7, all these platforms, they somewhere around between $150 and $300. And you get hundreds of numbers of motivated sellers in there.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is just put the work in and make the phone calls.
Yeah, and that is put the work in. It's not, people get into real estate and think that it's going to be a nice flexible schedule, and which to a degree it is. If I want to take off this afternoon and go hang with my grandkids, I can do that. The important thing is making sure that you take care of the big rocks, take care of the important things first, making sure that the lead generation is done. Another thing that I found is working is I will call expired listings from 6 months ago. So if you figure out 6 months at a time, it's a 6-month listing. It would have been about that time that the property came off the market a year ago, right? So I'll call them and I'll look on the MLS and see if the property had sold. My old coach would have said, no, don't do that. You're wasting time. But I do like to see what's going on there.
Right.
And I'll call them and say, hey, I see that you had your property on the market 6 months ago and you took it off the market. Have you had any other thoughts about selling in this new market? And I'll set appointments that way too. People will they'll think about it. Really, really important thing as it pertains to expireds and for sale by owners, but really in dealing with your database on a regular basis, there are so many agents that lose track of their clients. They'll make the sale and they'll just move on to the next thing. And 6 months ago, if a property didn't sell 6 months ago, the person who was selling might not even remember the name of the person that they listed the property with. So if you're that person that will call those people and be confident about it, be kind about it and gentle about it, chances are, if they are thinking about selling, you're going to have an opportunity to do that. So it's a matter of having conversations, listening, making sure that you're really digging in. If you notice, when we were role playing, I was asking you what was important about being in Miami, right? It's not just about the sale; it's about finding out why it is that you want to go to Miami. What's the motivation?
Sure.
A trap that we can get caught in sometimes is when we're on the phones is trying to motivate people on the phone. We're not here to try to motivate people. We're here to find the motivated people,
Correct.
so that we can help them move where they want to move.
Perfect. And Lee, I noticed from our role play, you setting legit listing appointments during these prospecting hours. So what are your thoughts about setting appointments, listing appointments over the phone versus setting up previews and just go and meet with the seller for sale by or expired? What's your thoughts?
Well, I think it's, again, just a habit that I had from day one and the coach that I initially had, rather than, especially when it comes to for sale by owners. I know a lot of people will set a preview appointment. Hey, I want to come and see if the property is good for one of my buyers, which is fine. That works, and it's a 2 or 3 step process. You build that relationship. The relationships are they're really important. My approach has always been a more direct approach to set the appointment while I'm on the phone, and it's worked for me so far. Occasionally, I'll go and preview a property if I think that it's a property that I want to represent. But most times I'm just on the phones and I make a direct connection to set the appointment right there on the phone.
Yeah, I like that. That's a direct approach, saves you some time and gas traveling back and forth with unmotivated sellers.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that, again, I think it's, I know more people do it the other way. I think it's just a matter of the very first coach that I had and the way I was taught. And that's just the way I've been doing it ever since.
Right. That's what's working for you. And I would say meeting with seller is better than no meeting at all. So it's better to start from setting previews appointments if you just starting in FSBOs and expires, and then grow to your level, Lee, and then instead of driving around just to meet people, dialing for dollars, getting that motivated seller on the phone and go and list the property right away.
Right.
Both strategies work. But let's pause for a second, and we role played pretty smooth conversation. I want to ask you, what are objections you typically hear on the phone, and how you handle these objections?
Well, one would be, and you even mentioned this, you have a friend in the business,
right?
And my response, I wasn't even, as soon as you said friend, the initial thing that came out of my mouth was, well, everybody has a friend in the real estate business, right? So that I didn't even think about that. That just came out that way. Another objection could be, I have a friend in the business, or I think I might hire my friend. Ooh, what scares me about that, Roman? If your house doesn't sell in 6 months, it'd be a lot easier to fire me than your friend, wouldn't it?
Right.
And that touches people, because it really gets to, are you looking to do your friend a favor, or are you looking to sell your property? Or what happens, Roman, if the deal goes belly up, which they often do, right? You have a personal relationship with your friend, and we have a business relationship. Wouldn't it be great to keep your personal relationships and your business relationships apart so you don't have to ruin that relationship? So if that's just one of several objections, and if you can go 5 deep on each one of these objection handlers, it's a challenge, but if you can go 5 deep and keep the conversation going, there's more of a chance that you're going to be able to get the appointment.
Perfect. That is great answer. Well, let's address a few questions from comments. Ruby asked, how do you convert for sale by owners when you get there? I think it's very important. One thing when you setting up appointments, but what do you do when you get in there?
You need to master your listing consultation. And there are a number of scripts out there that you can use. I'm kind of old school. I use some old scripts that turned into conversations. There are newer ones that are out there. Setting expectations when you walk in, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, one of 3 things are going to happen at the end of this conversation. You're either going to list your property with me, which would be great, or you might decide not to list it with me, which could happen. Or number 3, I might decide not to take your listing. May I explain why? Well, it's about the price. If we can't find a price that's suitable for you and suitable for a buyer, there's no reason for me or anybody else to list the property, is there? Right? So you have an initial, and there are several conversations that you can have to start an appointment. But what I did right there was I set an expectation. I'm here to earn your business, right? And you might decide to do it, which would be great. You might decide not to, or I did the takeaway too. I don't want your business if it's not going to be something reasonable. We're in a partnership here. I'm here to advise. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I'm here to give you all the facts and figures so you'll have all the information that you need to make the best decision for you. And if what I say makes sense and you're comfortable and confident that I can sell the property for you, I'm going to ask you to sign the listing agreement today. Is that fair enough? Right? So I'm giving them an option, but I'm setting the expectation right away that I'm here to earn your business. I'm here to walk away to helping you.
Yeah, that's excellent. I like the third option, that I'm not desperate for business. I'm here to work together as partners. I love that approach. Wonderful. All right, Maria asked, do you call back people who hang up? How do you handle people?
That's an interesting. My wife, Patty, was she had this real estate business before I did, and she famously called a for sale by owner, and the for sale by owner hung up on her, and she called her right back and said, "Hey, you just hung up on me. I could be the person that sells your house." Well, as it turns out, she did get the appointment. She did sell the house, and now she's part of her bunco group, and she introduces her to everybody as her realtor, to 15 or 20 women every single month. So she did that. I'll occasionally do that. It's important to have fun when you're doing it. I mean, and it can be a grind. Don't get me wrong. It can be a grind for sure. But going in with a good attitude and having fun. I did have a for sale by owner one time. He said, "Well, I don't need your help. I'm a part-time realtor." I said, "Oh, great. Who do you hang your license with?" And he said, "Well, I don't hang it with anybody currently. I'm just a part-time realtor." I said, "Well, what do you do? What's your full-time job?" He said, "Well, I'm an attorney." I said, "Oh, that's interesting. I've been thinking about becoming a part-time attorney. How do you think that's going to work out for my clients?" Kind of had fun with him, flipped the switch on him, and just continued on with the conversation. Now, I did not earn that listing, but again, I'll earn the next one. And you just have to kind of have fun with it, have a good head on your shoulders.
Right. Yeah. Quite frankly, I also listed for sale by owners who hang up on me. I called them back and said, "I'm sorry, we got disconnected." Then hang up on me again. I called him again. I was like, I don't know what's going on with the service. We disconnected again. Let's talk about real estate.
That worked.
He finally agreed to meet with me.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes. All right. Let's answer a few more questions. So Sam is asking, please share the name of the platform you use. I bet Sam is talking about all these platforms where you can get phone numbers.
Right. So again, I use Vulcan 7. And to me, that's the most comprehensive one. Land Voice is another one.
Right.
RedX. There's even you can even go to I guess whitepages.com, and they'll give you a couple of hundred names for $50 or something like that. A couple of hundred numbers for $50, something like that. I don't know exactly what the number is, but there are a number of ways you can do it. Hey, and you can also go into your MLS, look up what's expired, and then go to the white pages and see if you can find a number. Um, I'm not. Well, I'd like to hear your thoughts on door knocking for sale by owners. I've done that a couple of times in my life. I feel more comfortable getting to the phone and making sure that I call them that way, so I can be prepared to have a good, decent conversation. I don't know how I'd feel if I were a for sale by owner and somebody came knocking at my door when I'm in the middle of dinner or whatever it happened to be. But that's just me. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I never got success with door knocking for sale by owners. Well, instead, where I got tremendous success is sending a letter to for sale by owner and have them call you back as an option. Yes, it comes with a cost, and it's not as rapid as making a phone call and go in an appointment right away. On the flip side, for sale by owner is going to start calling you, and they open to a conversation. They want to talk to you.
Right.
And
what does this letter say?
Well, I noticed that you're selling for sale by owner, pretty much asking for a preview. Pretty much the same script that I've been teaching, that I wanted to meet with you to preview your home to see if it matches needs any of the buyers that I have in my database. And
Right.
they calling me back on their own timeline, because not that many people sending letters. I mean, a lot
Right.
of people calling, and calling works, texting works, but no one sending letters. If no one's sending letters,
Yeah.
I would encourage my coaching clients to start doing that.
You stand out. You stand out for sure. And speaking of letters and the aged expired listings, I did for a while, and I found some success with this. Go and see something that did not close 6 months ago, that came off the market 6 months ago, and have a letter that's written. And the whole first half of the letter is, "Dear Mr. Seller, I noticed you had your home for sale. You took it off the market. I'm just reaching out to see if you've decided to sell it or hold on to it." And what I'll do is I'll go in to the MLS and I'll look at the photos in the MLS and find something that really sticks out to me. Maybe it's a piano in the corner. I'm a musician, so it's a piano in the corner. Could be a piece of artwork that's really unique, a shark or whatever it happens to be. And I handwrite on the bottom, I really love the piano. That piece of art in the living room really stands out.
Yeah.
Give me a call to explore your options. And I've gotten some listings that way too.
Yeah, I like that. When you make it personalized, it's
Right.
that they feel it's not a bulk mail. Yeah, they're gonna start being curious and they calling you back. Love
Right.
it. All right. Do you mind sharing this letter with us? Maybe post in our WhatsApp or
Yeah, I'll
Facebook
do that.
so we can take rip off and duplicate. Like
Yes. Nothing like it.
All right. Well, a question from Kendra asking, do you call them back if they not listed in a month or so? I assume that's about expires.
Um, I I guess that relates to the aged expired from 6 months ago. I hadn't thought about a month ago. I was talking with somebody in our group 2 or 3 weeks ago who was calling expireds from a week ago. So I started doing that now too, and I got a couple of appointments from that as well. So just it's not the hustle and bustle of getting 20 phone calls from 20 different realtors. Well, that was a week ago, right? So today I'm calling, and I'm the only one calling.
Right.
So there's less competition there. Similarly, with the age expires 6 months ago, a year ago, you have no competition because nobody's calling them.
Right. Well, what I'm hearing from you, Lee, action solves everything. No matter if you call 6 months old expireds, brand new expireds, week expired, sending them a letter, as long as you take the action, you go on appointments, you sign contracts, you sell houses and get referrals.
That's right.
That's
You're so right. Action solves everything.
Action solves everything. Absolutely. All right. Well, I see one more question from Ruby. For sale by owners, do you schedule an appointment for preview for buyer or list the house? We kind of touched on that. Maybe we recap one more time for Ruby.
Yeah. Well, first thing is, I would never tell a seller that I have a buyer if I don't have a buyer for that property.
Of course.
Right? I would never do that. Having said that, I'm working with a number of buyers, and I'd just like to stop by and see if this property would work for you. So I'm not saying I have a buyer for your property. I'm saying I work with a number of buyers. Let me just check it out and see if it will work for anybody. And here's an interesting thing too. When I am working with buyers, and there's nothing on the MLS, as I'm going through my for sale by owner numbers, I'm thinking, oh, well, would this be appropriate for this buyer? Would this be appropriate for that buyer? So I can have that conversation. What I'm finding is that, or what I have found in the past is that sellers are skeptical when you say that you have a buyer. This is just in my experience, right? Because everybody has a buyer, right? But if you actually have a buyer, you almost have to convince them that hey, I know people tell you this all the time. I really have a buyer that might fit for this.
Absolutely, yeah. Never lie and pretend that you have a buyer, because if you don't, they're gonna find out really quickly and the relationship destroyed.
Yeah.
So also on Ruby's question, I've been coaching my coaching clients the script with the open house. We can do a quick role play. We role played expires and you were the agent. And now let's flip around. We'll do this quick role play for sale by owners, much softer. It's going to be for a preview, and we'll wrap this podcast for today.
Okay.
All right, ring.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning. My name is Robin Ivanov. I'm your local realtor, and I'm calling about the house at 123 Main Street. Is it still available?
Yes. Do you have a buyer for it?
Perfect. Well, potentially I might have a buyer, but today I'm calling to simply ask you, are you planning for an open house this weekend?
I wasn't planning one.
Ouch. Because I wanted to stop by at the open house, take a look and see which buyer would be the perfect fit for your home. But now I'm thinking you're not hosting an open house. I can stop by today. I'll be in the area between 3 and 6. Are you planning to be home at 4:15?
Sure, I'll be there at that time.
Fantastic. Let's set it up for 4:15. Let me get your information, and I'll see you at that time.
Okay, I'm not signing anything. You understand that, right?
Absolutely. I'm not signing anything either. I just want to take a look, meet with you, and see what would be the next step from initial meeting to getting your home sold.
That's great. I had never thought about having an open house. Maybe I should consider that.
Yeah, absolutely. Open house is a wonderful way for you to get extra exposure, but instead of waiting for the open house, let's keep it for 4:15.
Okay, that sounds great.
All right, perfect. So you see, it's much softer approach.
Yes, totally understand.
And if you're just getting in this game, if I have a choice of meeting with the seller or not meeting with the seller, I would choose meeting with the seller. It's not wasting time.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, when you grow to your skill set, of course, it's better to dial for dollars until you get motivated seller for sale by owner expired. But that's just a different approach that I want to show to everyone who's on this podcast who will be watching the recording later.
Yeah, I think you just reminded me of something too. And when people, it's important to practice this. You can't just get on the phones and do it. Find somebody that you can role play with. Find the scripts that you want to work with. I actually teach classes on this now. It's really fascinating. The rule about role playing is you can be rough on the person that you're role playing with. Always give them the appointment at the end.
Yeah.
Right. So when you're role playing, it's practice, it's repetition, it's doing it over and over and over again. You need a positive outcome sometimes.
Wonderful. Yes. So I would encourage everyone, post in our WhatsApp group and partner up to role play, like we just discussed with Lee. Get yourself a partner, knowing that someone else in this world also doing this activity, also making calls, will give you that extra push. And we'll keep you accountable and disciplined. If someone's starting at 8, I'm going to start at 8. We start from role play, and I'm going to go and set this appointment.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, Lee. I think that's all for today. It was great talking to you.
Yeah. Sorry about the snafus at the beginning. We'll have to figure out what that was all about.
All right. It happens. We're live, so anything can happen to us.
Yeah.
All right, Lee. I'll finish this. Thank you so much for meeting with me. I'll see you.
Thanks, Robin. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.